Hi everyone, I hope everyone's keeping well. So this is just a quick video where I'm going to demonstrate how to create environments using both Anaconda Navigator and also using Conda on the command line. So I have just got a new laptop from work, so there was an issue with my old one. I've got a new one. So what that's meant is I've had to kind of reinstall lots of software that I use, and that's kind of provided me with an opportunity to create this video, kind of demonstrating how to create environments. Because I've just installed a nice new fresh version of Anaconda Navigator on this device, and as you can see here, it only has the base root environment on it. So I thought I'd make this as kind of just a short supplementary video demonstrating how to do this, because what I find is when people want to start doing data science or data analysis, statistical analysis, using kind of Python and things like that, one of the things that often causes the most anxiety is the setup, getting started, not getting it wrong, and creating environments to use to perform their analyses. So it's not recommended that you use the base root environment. It's recommended that you create separate environments for the different projects that you're using, and you install the packages you need into those, and you then in different environments have possibly different packages, different versions of the same sort of software libraries that are compatible with other, given the task that you're trying to undertake. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to demonstrate a couple of ways to do this. I'm going to demonstrate a real quick and easy way using Navigator, and then I'll show you how to do the same sort of thing using the command line. So I use the command line on Conda when I do this normally, but I'll show both ways. They're both relatively easy. What I'll do is I'll create some new environments and then install some packages into those environments. Okay, so as I said, you can see here, if I drop down, you've got this. All I've got is this base root environment. So because this is a newly installed version, if I click on environments here on this particular tab, you can see all I have is one environment, and I can create new environments here by just clicking on this create tab, this create button down here. So if I click on that, it'll bring up a pop-up box, and it will ask for a new environment name, and it'll you can see there by default it's already selected Python for me, and version 3.11.7. Okay, so that's probably the most recent version of Python being used on the Anaconda distribution. I could change that and select an R environment, but I use Python mostly, so I'm just going to stick with Python. And I want to create a couple of new environments anyway. So what I'll do is I'll create an environment that I'm going to call ds_test. So it's just going to be a practice environment really for me for different small data science tasks and things that I might be trying out. So all I've done is given it a name there, data science test, Python selected, and it's going to create an environment with Python 3.11 installed in it. So if I click create, that should appear there on my list of environments. It'll take a few seconds to do this. And then what we will do is we'll activate this environment and just kind of install a couple of packages, just as an example how to do it. So it's taking its time here, you can see. It seems to be working. Looking at the progress bar at the bottom. Okay, so it's asking me if I want to update a Navigator. I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm just going to ask it to remind me later. So for the purposes of this video, all I want to do is there we go. So we've now got our new environment. That's the one that's active, the one that's highlighted. It's our data science test environment, and there's only 15 packages installed in it here, and these are kind of the basic. These are the very basic things that have been installed with Python version 3.11. So no, remind me later. So if I go back to my home environment, you should be able to see now it's showing as DS test. So if I click that drop down menu, we've now got the base root environment and the tick next to the environment that's active. So I want to be in that data science test environment. And what I'm going to do is I want to install a couple of software libraries that I use quite a lot. So we'll just install pandas and NumPy. And to do that, all I need to do is we've got this drop down button here and it's on installed at the moment. So it's showing us the packages that are installed. If we click on not installed, it should create a list of packages that are available for installation on the channels that I'm using through the Anaconda distribution. So if I click on NumPy like this, then search down. So what it's doing is I'm just gonna it's kind of presenting with us with a load of packages that use NumPy essentially. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on, for the sake of example, I'm just going to click on NumPy there. And you can see I've put it's created an arrow indicating that it's going to install that download. And all I need to do here is click apply. And it's going to start installing this into the environment that I've just created. This may take a little bit of time, so it's going to show you all the different dependencies that are going to be installed as well. So 9 different packages, including some of the ones that were shown on that list, like NumPy base. Okay, so that seems to have worked. We're still on the not installed. If I click and go back to install packages, you can see now, and if I clear the search term, we've now got 26 packages installed. So it's installed those 9 packages relating to NumPy numeric Python. So let's I'll do one more and then we'll move on and look at something else. So pandas is apologies for my bad typing, is a package that is very commonly used in data science. So let's select pandas and I'll click apply, and we'll do the same thing with that. It's probably got quite a few dependencies, pandas. But it's a useful data science tool for handling and manipulating different types of panel data. So there you go. It's going to install 7 packages as well. Let's click on OK. This might take just a few seconds, but hopefully not too long. Okay, so if I clear this search term here, and if we go back to installed, we should now see we've got 33 packages installed into this data science test environment that I created. And if we go to the home page there, so we could then, from here, whilst we're in the data science test environment, we could then, where is my notebooks? Probably a bit further down. We could then install and launch Jupyter Notebook from this environment and select suitable folders and then kind of run some sort of data analysis using the packages that are currently installed. Okay, so that's kind of a simple way to do it. I'm just going to change back to the base environment. There we go. And another way to do it, though, as I said, is actually using Conda and using the command line, using the terminal. So what I'll do is I'll log out of Navigator for now. Pause for a second because it's still busy doing something. Yeah, that's correct. So I've just logged out of Navigator, Anaconda Navigator, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same sort of thing as I just did before, create another environment. But this time I'm going to use the actual Anaconda prompt. So let me do the actual on the prompt there. So you can see what I've got on my screen now is the actual command line prompt, and you can see that I'm in the base environment. It tells me I'm the base environment, and it tells me kind of what folder that is, and this is my kind of my ID essentially. If you're familiar with Windows, you'll kind of be familiar with this kind of like path specification. So what I'm going to do is in the command line, I'm going to do a similar thing to what we just did using Navigator, but just giving commands. So I'm going to type Anaconda, Anaconda, create, and then I'm going to go 2 dashes, name, and then the name of the environment. So I am going to create a series of notebooks and do some analyses that involve dimensionality reduction. So I'm going to create an environment called, I'll just call it dim reduction. That should do. And if I press return, what we should see is Anaconda is going to it's going to try to solve the environment, and if it can do that, it's going to ask us if we want to proceed. I'm going to say yes, I want to proceed. And what I can do now is, so you can see I am actually still in my base environment here on where the command line prompt is, but it tells you how to activate this environment. So to activate this environment, what I'm going to just do is I'm going to type Conda activate, and then I'm just going to put the name of the environment, dim reduction, dimensionality reduction. So you can see now, if you look at my command line prompt, dim reduction, dimensionality reduction has actually, its base has been replaced by that. So I'm now actually inside my dimensionality reduction environment. So what I want to do now is install some packages into this environment. And that's pretty simple to do. So what I'll do is from this environment, I will whilst I'm now in this dimensionality reduction environment, what I'll do is I'll install pandas, numpy, and scipy, three really commonly used packages. So to do that, all I need to do is type conda install, and then the name of the package. So I'm going to put numpy. So I could just do numpy, and then I could do that again and ask for pandas, but I can also just list them essentially. I could put a list of these environments. So let's do numpy and pandas first. Let's enter. And this may take a little while. It's going to think about it, and it's going to find the packages, find the data, solve the environments. It's going to give us a list of all the things it's going to install into this environment, and then ask us if we wish to proceed. We'll click yes again, and now this may take a short amount of time as it updates everything. So you can see now it's downloading and extracting the relevant stuff from these different packages. Okay, so that worked. That seems to work. It's executed that transaction. Let's do one more. Let's go conda install scipy. See what that does. Just want to check that I'm still recording. It seems to be still recording, thankfully. Although my little timer at the bottom has disappeared. This is doing a similar thing to what we saw before. It's just installing some stuff and trying to solve the environment. It'll then ask us if we wish to proceed. It was a little bit faster when we did the first two. And there we go. This is what's going to be installed. Do you wish to proceed? Yes, I do. And then we can see the progress bar there. Once it's done, it's returned us back to our command line prompt there in the dim reduction package. So I've had that. We're working in the dim reduction environment. So what I'm going to do is I want to go back to my base environment. I'm going to just exit from Conda in a second. So I'm just going to go Conda to deactivate the environment. I'm going to just go Conda deactivate. If I do that, you can see now I'm now back using the base environment. So now what I'm going to do is exit from the command line. You can see I've closed that. So what I'll do is to show you how that works. I've created those environments using the command line, but if we go back in now to Anaconda Navigator, this may take a few seconds just to load up. There we go. Brought my timer back. Sometimes Anaconda Navigator loads quite quickly. Yeah, we go. We can see it on the screen now. So all I'm doing now is I'm going to go back in and just show you that although we use the command line to create those environments, they will still be visible in Navigator. So we can activate them through Navigator as well. Okay, so prompting me. So here we are. I'm back in Navigator on the home screen on the giving me all these different options, and you can see now if I click on my drop down, there's that dim reduction environment that we just created using like the PowerShell prompt, the command line prompt. Okay, so you can see that there also. If I go into environments, it'll just kind of load up. It'll tell us what packages are in there. We installed 3 NumPy pandas and SciPy in that case. But that was it. So that hopefully that gives you some sort of idea of how to get set up creating these environments. And like I said before, then once we're in that dimensionality reduction environment, we could then use Jupyter Notebook. Once you click on launch, it'll open Jupyter. You'll be able to navigate to a folder on your computer where you want to save your Jupyter Notebook, and then you can any of the packages that are installed in that environment, you can import them into Jupyter Notebook to run your different analyses. Okay, so hopefully that's useful, and I will stop recording now. Thanks for listening.